of credit. Not easy. You're going to have to fight through the pain. Your whole life, because most of you are 40 to 65, 75 years old, you went through the pain. They've been knocked down 1,000 times. If you want it bad enough, you're going to fight through the pain. In other words, it's analyzations and things we have to do to line you up. American Express wants to review you. Well, that kind of sucks. What do they want to review? They want to look at this account, they want that transaction. We got to give them what they want. Here, what is the goal? Today, if you have $250,000 in your bank, the reality is I tell you to reference 3 turns by 5. Basically, that would turn into $5 million. Then you'd be able to use borrow money to go get it. Because most of the time we don't have all the money we want, what do we get to do? Let's leverage the knowledge and connect some dots. In other words, like today, okay? Here we have raise auto income. I've always created things, and I had to create out of nothing, okay? When you come out, you know, basically born in a taxi, you have a trash can, used and abused as a kid, it kind of sucks. When you come back to 3.7 billion, you got everything you want, what do? Well, you die in a coma, you come back and you're broke again. Kind of sucks again. You see, if you want this bad enough, you're going to fight through the pain and understand rules and tools. See, we have American Express. They have a $250,000 line of credit. They call it a blueprint loan. Years and years ago, one of their employees said they named it after me. Who knows if it's true? The reality is I just referenced what I was told. American Express Gold and Platinum cards, these are simple cards. In the past, about 20 years ago, you had to pay them off every month. And people didn't like them as much because they have some bonuses, but the reality is simple. About 18 years ago, they got a POT. That's a pay to time limit. Now, I always like the cards because they don't fluctuate. See, what happens with most of you, or you back yourself in a corner, or you lose your job, have an emergency. Then you jack up the wrong card, and that's kind of silly. But the reality is these don't fluctuate. The greatest gift is not take your score up and down like a yo-yo. Unfortunately, most of you, your score goes up and down, up and down, up and down all the time. This week alone, I've had 9 clients cry on the phone with me. They can't believe they're in 740, 780s. Okay, this is your graph here. See, your credit scores go up and down. The rules and tools that I created years ago, back in the late 70s and 80s, is what happens today. Oldest card, okay, and the 25% rule and tools, and that's what is important. But when you jack it up, you do this to your credit. Knowing that these don't fluctuate, knowing if we have an emergency, that's the card you should use. But some of us screw things up. What happens with some of you today? If you have a problem with American Express or Chase, the difference, they don't like to forgive you. So it'd have to be a division of you to go around that. In other words, you get a second chance. The chance is under through the tax ID. See, if we look at W7, ITIN, EIN, and SSN, what do you got? 3 choices to build credit. That's how it works. Between my research and studying my whole life, tearing things apart, we have to understand how it works. So it's like anyone else. An ITIN or EIN, I can build credit to it, or the SSN. SSN, we were supposed to use it in the first place, but unfortunately the world changed and tried to do their own thing. So let's understand. If we're going to get a blueprint call, that means a call from American Express. Blueprint loan gets a call. They're going to verify something. That's the time you have to learn to be quiet. I'd say shut up, okay? What happens is you want to over-explain yourself. Now, I'm going to pick on Lewis tonight. Is Lewis here today? He usually is. He's probably there listening or watching anyway. Lewis is a great guy. I've known Lewis for years. He talks different than he does today than he used to. He has confidence. He's on top of it, but he screwed up. American Express says we want to review the account, okay? And what do? His conversation is, all right, what about your income? Instead of shut up, he wants to volunteer. I have a settlement coming up for $250,000. Oh, goody. I got a pension plan. I got all my accounts. I got these tests. You open Pandora's box. You see, everybody you talk to American Express is a different person, and they're making notes. So the goal, I'd always tell you, if you get a call to verify, it's called, how can I help you? Shut up, shut up, shut up. They're going to say, we're reviewing because of what reason? Your next response could be, what account triggered this? For instance, I look at basically Elias here. I made Elias a billionaire, okay, when I helped him bring edible arrangements in California years ago. Elias says, well, it must be the card you got, right? No, it's the card because you dropped your score. See, my point is this. He jacked up his credit card, the wrong card. What does it do to your score? It drops your score. What does American Express do? They call you right away. They reanalyze you instantly. Instantly. And what do? They reduce his $75,000 I got him to the actual current balance. See, you got to be part of the program. We understand rules and tools and don't screw it up. So the point I'm bringing your credit up and down, that makes them review. And that's what happens. Lewis over-talked the story. He's like, blah, blah, shut up, shut up. You now want them to verify your pension plan, your settlement, your bank account, this and that. Ay. You made it more difficult than it needed to be. Okay, but like anything else, what do we do? Okay, Mrs. Walker here, they reviewed her. They asked for 2 months of bank statements. And I told her, because I've known her a long time, shh, shut up. All you have to do is say, how can I help you? You want to review? Okay, well, what can I do? What do I need to provide you for your review process? Okay, no problem. They're going to tell you. The next question you might ask is, what card triggered this? Okay, what card? Elias, they got to the point he asked the question. He goes, oh, that was my personal card. His score dropped. They reviewed, and they shrunk his limit to his current balance. Got it so far? So rules and tools. We're trying to pin put the ball in the hole or whatever you want to call it. We're trying to put the dots together, connect the pain, and make sure we get through the process. That loan is up to $250. But again, I had basically 2 people. All right, first of all, Karen. Karen's great. She's been a client for years. What did she do? She got timed out. Understand, timed out. That means when she basically was told to get a bank account, all right, she was on vacation, she came back, all right, instead of paying attention for that phone call or that email, all right, when she did, it was already almost timed out. The reality is when they timed it out, they don't forgive you. I was on the phone with Karen at American Express for about 40 minutes. Every which way and every supervisor to get it redone. Nowadays, they don't forgive anybody. And that kind of sucks. So again, understand rules and tools. We would like a $250,000 loan. Why would you want that? I want you to realize what you should have done a long time ago, and I've heard it 4 times a day. Ray, if I knew you years ago, I wouldn't be in this situation. I've been broadcasting. I've been online or in person for 49 years. I don't know why you didn't research, but that's going to be up to you. But what happens is very simple, is the knowledge is where you got to put things together. American Express, to me, it's nuts. It's like when I line up somebody at a U.S. bank for $100,000, they get it. All right, they're crazy. All right, Navy's kind of crazy too. See, there's only 10 great credit cards. There's only 10. I think the rest suck, in my opinion. As an affiliate, I think most of them are terrible. But again, these cards don't fluctuate. Is it worth the pain to get $250,000 of credit as a line of credit that you could write a check to an escrow? You see, my concept has always been, it's like I got basically Anne-Marie. He wants to say, here's $100,000, let's go buy something. Anne-Marie, you should have leveraged the money before you spend it. In other words, he's got the money, he can afford it. Is it better to create a line of credit, put money into an escrow, than create debt to offset the taxes? Every rich and famous person I've taught for 49 years knows how to leverage money, and debt offsets taxes. Borrow money is not taxable. So we might get through reviews. We might have 2 or 3 of them. Now what happens? Very simple. Okay? I get a client, he can't get American Express cards. All right, so I basically use my dashboards as an affiliate, go around this stuff, and I get him 3 cards. I get a platinum for us to use the extra size, and I get him a gold and a platinum for himself, for his company, no problem. Now, all of a sudden, he's asking questions. You see, he wants a cash advance. You don't do that on American Express. There's ways to get money off the card, yes, but again, he called back, he went through a review, no problem. Second time, all right, Richard, he did one thing. Can I do a debt consolidation? Can I basically do a cash advance? He's asking this to American Express. What do you think their system did? Made him go through a review again. They made him, listen carefully, write down 4506T, 4506C. They made him do the damn form. This is to prove he has a tax return. Because he volunteered more information or asked questions. We don't ask the questions like that to American Express, who's going to give you $250 line of credit. So we went through a review twice now. Twice. It's kind of silly. So I want you to learn from some of the bouncy and what's happening today is, connecting the dots. We know that they're going to offer us 99 more cards. I don't want 99 more. I don't want 99 cards off one card. I'm sorry, I don't. What I do want is one card with 9 divisions. 9 cards would make sense to me. You see, if we're truly going to get what we want, we have to line up 9 divisions for 9 lines of credit and 9 locations of something. You have to decide what that something is going to be. It's going to be up to you. Every division should be a profit zone. It should be a bucket of money, and that's what I always did. See, no one helped me, so what I had to do is create credit to finance the dream, which actually made a lot more sense anyway. So again, if they offer 99, the answer is no. So as you're listening a little bit today, before we do the presentation at 3, is the do's and don'ts we're going through. It's like we have another client, basically, they wanted to review because, again, we at Reynolds University get a card for you. You're a distributor or you're an affiliate, and then we run a card on Reynolds University Merchant like you're buying products and coaching, because you are. It's real, we're buying products and coaching. All right, now we got 2, all right, representatives from American Express says, we don't want you to use that to buy that service. So now they're dictating you can't use a Reynolds University card to buy books and coaching as well. But again, you have to follow the bouncy ball. You know, most of the time it's not an issue. So what do we do to solve problems? I have 19 bank accounts. I have basically 7 or 8 different merchants to play with, and I can sell from 19 accounts as well. I'm ready for the pain. I'm ready to fight through it. So if they want us to go left, we'll go left. They want us to go right, we'll go right. So again, listen to what's happening to some of the clients. 80% no problem. One client was told this a month ago, and instead of telling me, all right, we ran a couple of charges for some products and service and coaching, they reviewed them again. Now it's like they said, we told you not to do this, but he forgot to tell us. Communication's the key. So if you got an issue, always get a hold of Burnett in accounting. She's the accounting manager. Email me or email her. What is our goal? We get a chance. If we don't screw this up, okay, then we can literally get to the point they give us up to $250. This is the time you get to become the bank. If you look at it from there, it's a blueprint loan, okay? Up to $250,000. This means we can turn around and do different products, different services, different projects. I've had clients do a blueprint loan and literally put money in 4 projects at the same time. But they've already went through some projects. They understand how it works. See, if you get to put money in an escrow, $25,000 to $100,000 in escrow, then you get to understand you have to pay that debt. But the debt's not due for 45 days. We don't use it all because that way we have a safety to maintain the payments. An escrow can take up to 90 days. We want 90 days. We want a clear escrow. We want to make sure there's no liens or UCC ones on anything. We want to make sure their books aren't cooked. You see, that's why I will not go through a private sale in anything unless it goes through escrow. So the goal is if we get up to $250, all right, we get to transfer it how long we want the loan from. You're controlling like the bank. Would you like 6 months, 12 months, 18 months, 24 months? We're trying to get into what? An escrow to close an escrow. See, not everybody has the money to put in a Wendy's restaurant, okay? Not everybody has millions of dollars in the bank. Okay, when I bought my first Jack in the Box, I was 19. I had over $4 million in the bank. It was easy. But a Jack in the Box wasn't that expensive back there like it is today. So if we have the transactions, listen carefully, transactions, right now they say 9 transactions. I find they want 30 transactions and $100,000 in and out of the bank account. So again, what happens if you don't have that kind of transactions? Well, you're stuck. You're never going to get it. Well, that's not the point for me. I want you to get it anyway. You don't have 30 transactions. You do not have what? $100,000 a month in your account, in and out, in and out. If we partner up, what do we get to do? All right, I used B of A for one reason. Bank of America, when I sued all the banks in '96 for division process, I wanted to make sure the divisions are on the same account. Up to 75 divisions, it makes sense, no problem. But what happens is Bank of America always said, we're going to have a sub-account. Here's a corp, here's sub-accounts. So when you have a corporation with B of A and you have your 18 divisions, they're going to make separate bank accounts for the divisions using the same tax ID. The goal for me was to receive money to have an average balance. See, I thought they were two-faced, and I think they are still to this day. What does that mean? They say average balance builds lines of credit, average balance. But they want me to have, what, 5 bank accounts, 20 bank accounts? What about all the fees? It's ridiculous. Your banks have had to settle billions of dollars in the last couple of months because they rip off their customers. All right, Wells Fargo's $2.1 billion 3 weeks ago because they rip off their customers. They're the most indicted bank on the planet. So if we look at Bank of America, okay, and what happens with you is very simple. If I have my B of A account here, and here's your corporation with your divisions, okay? I'm going to take one of these divisions, I'm going to name it your corporation. Your corporation, so B of A gives me sub-accounts. Every sub-account, so if they want to verify banking, they can verify banking with the name. Now the next thing they're changing, are you a signer on the bank account? Okay, they keep changing these rules. In the beginning, what they were doing, it's just a resolution and permission. But again, they're changing that too. So again, what do? We have an arrangement with B of A in the near future that we will have our clients on an account, referenced in our accounts, okay? In other words, if I put 50 people on an account that's referenced to another account, and you have no control anyway, can they verify you're a signer? You see, if they're going to say go left, I'm going to go left. Go right, go right. Whatever they want to do, I'm prepared to fight through the pain to get what I'm trying to get to. It's not easy. It's not easy. I mean, it was easier doing my first $1 million at 14 and a half than it is today's world. When you invent something, people just want to give you money. It's okay. But then you have to value the money as well and go through that process. So again, 100,000 in and out of the bank account. Maybe you don't have it. I do. What do we get to do? We get to use a division of your under my corporation. We got to connect a lot of dots. People are saying, well, you just run the card. Now, excuse me, we're working our tails off, monitoring this all the time, daily. I'm here every morning, usually at 3 o'clock, 3:15 at the latest, and I'm checking every account there is because I only allow so many people in the program because I don't want to screw it up. Again, what do? So when they offer that 99 more cards, okay, the answer is no. When they offer basically, all right, I need your bank accounts. I don't show all the 19 different bank accounts. There's no reason to and show all that money. Reality is let's just use raised credit because everybody understands raised credit right there. So in July, we can show $500,000. So if they want 30 transactions, I got last month, 3,016 transactions alone. Not counting $500,000 in the money in and out. Reference your corporation to my divisions, we have the ability to verify it. But again, one call is, well, I need a bank account. One call is, I need your ID. One call is, I need this. That's like, what do they need? That's the time we shut up, we listen, and we ask questions. All right, how can I help you? Shut up. Okay, you want to verify. What would you like to verify? A bank account, what number? Okay, is it this one or that one? Okay, no problem. We'll get that. You want 2 months bank statements? Fantastic, we'll do that too. Next thing, what do you want? Okay, see what happens when you verify, you shut up and do what they want. But when you volunteer, oh, well, let me give you all my accounts. Let me just stop, stop. I got a pension, I got a settlement, I got this, I got stop. How do you get people to shh? You know, it's like going on a date, all right? Every first date is an interview. It's a double interview, okay, to see if you get a second date, all right? That's when you have to be on your best behavior and shut up. But again, what do you say? You want a second date. Here we're going to answer the questions. We're going to do what needs to be done. All right, and if something needs to be told to us, you got to let us know through email or phone call. Again, call Burnett. So when we show $500,000, almost $500,000 in August, and then we got September, okay? What we're trying to show is 100,000 in and out the bank account. But again, if they want to review, that's the way it is. We have to do what they want. They're in charge. We're trying to get them to give us $250,000 line of credit so we can write a check to escrow. And if you don't have the connection to the dots, I do. I have all the pieces that are there. I've done it so many years, it's not hard to connect the dots. But again, it's like David. David's going to do about $16 million this year. Okay, what do? This blueprint money should be put into an escrow. I believe, in my own beliefs, it's, you might agree or disagree, the world is wrong and I'm right. I've been saying that since I was a little kid because I'm trying to show them the truth behind all the SSN and SS4. Everybody's kind of guessing. I don't want any to guess. So if we do this correctly, our goal is simple. Now, We've changed pricing. We do all kinds of stuff to help people. But the reality is, it depends if what I'm talking about, what we need that day or whatever happens to be done. We want a $5,000 spend from somebody. In other words, if they're serious enough, they're going to give us $5,000 to connect their corporation. It's a division of ours as we use this process. Get a card, exercise the card, prove we paid it. Remember, the issue is resolution. Now they want to know, listen carefully, the charge card is here. Who'd you pay with? So that bank account who paid the bill, they want the bank account that matches that. Like they did for Princess, one of our clients. We want that month that showed this in September that showed that payment for this. They're connecting the dots. Give them what they want. If you just take your little notes, give it to us and feed it to us, we have the ability to do that without screwing up. So again, that's where we sometimes will say, because we charge 10% for lines of credit, up to 10%. And that's, I won't say it's a going rate, it's what we charge. But again, I'm not going to charge, listen very carefully, I'm not going to charge that fee until after we close an escrow. Because if I charge that fee now, what's going to happen is you can't afford to pay the fee unless you have enough income to do that, but it backs you in a corner. I don't want to back you in a corner. I'd rather partner with you. I have partners for 40 plus years. We partner in business all the time. But again, I fight through the pain for them as well. How many months cycle does it take for an Amex Platinum card to be used prior to going forward to the blueprint loan? Well, the difference is they want it 90 days. All right, this is Shadrach, okay? He was the one that got reviewed as well. But again, it's like when I said to Shadrach, okay, all right, you have a payment that's on one of your blue cards that's due. No, I don't, no, I don't, no, I don't. So what do you mean talking? No, you don't. Burnett, I call her B, I said, show this to him, please, because it's late. That late on a card that they didn't pay attention to cost a review. So it slowed us down again. When I see a dashboard, I'm looking at everything. I'm tearing it apart. So again, that's a 90-day window. Now, can I expedite it? Some cases, yes. All right, but do I want less than $250? I have a client right now, I want to get expedited. A, we got to do a lot more work. We're not willing to pay because you're kind of a pain in the tush anyway. But I want now. Okay, that's great. But again, if we push it, he might only get 100,000 versus 250. If we play what they want. So I want $5,000 to do all this work. We work our tails off. Again, what do we do a lot of times? We'll discount it. We'll discount it. But again, when we discount that setup fee, we're doing all the work up front. We get paid on the back end of that 10%. But I don't want to get paid until the escrow is closed. It wouldn't be any fair. See, you got to realize every project we do with you or for you, I'm part of 25% of it. That's right, 25%. That's how I got to $3.7 billion in 2009. Okay, not the traditional $2.2 billion control and other real estate as well. Okay, getting to billionaire for me is easy, but I'm not a billionaire. That's the corporation. I don't have any money. I'm broke. I'm the poorest rich guy you know. In other words, I'm not stupid enough to say I'm rich. Only stupid people say that on social media because then the IRS is listening. If we do this right. So if I connect the dots for you and we play this game, understand. All right, if they want a review, shh. All we have to do is, how can I help you? Okay, what do you need? What a bank account? What triggered this? Okay, thank you. Have a nice day. Let's get it to them right away. That's it. We're getting to the point that B of A is allowing me to put up 40 signatures on a bank account in the near future. Whatever the bouncing ball is, I'm going to follow the ball and I'm going to win because I never give up. I'm the most tenacious person you'll ever meet in your life. I never give up. Why? Because I haven't won yet. Winning is at all costs. I will die trying to win. That's just me, but I'm going to outsmart them anyway. That's just the game. I always play like a chess game. I want to win. So when we get a basic blueprint loan, okay, I want $4,000. That's how much work is in it, period, 4,000 to 5,000. Okay, that makes sense, all that work. We don't get paid to the back end and all this work up front. It's like, oh, are you crazy? It's like anything else. The fee, understanding how to play the game. Now, some of these, now there's a fast track. Fast track, I'm taking my corporation, one of them in division, and I pop a card on this end. So in other words, I'm doing yours on this end, and here's another one on this end as well. And what that means, I'm getting two. I want 2 blueprint loans, okay? If we got $500,000, what could we do? More projects. See, let's put it this way. You've been trying your whole life to do what you need to do. Let's say you're 35 to 75 years old. Disappointed a little bit, friends, family, whatever, ripped you off. What if this time you do what's told to do and you follow through and you get to win? So there's our fast track auto income. This is where if you need help, Santos or Brandy helps you as well and guide you. But I'm getting the card under my accounts. My accounts, they can log right in now. Now, sometimes when I do that, they want to log into the account when you apply for credit, no problem. But again, that's the one that's basically, all right, we want to basically do what? All right, that is usually about almost $6,000. That's $5,000. Fast track's $5,000, $4,000 over here for the standard blueprint, no problem. If we listen and we learn and we go back to basics, okay? If they want to review, let them, okay? Are you willing to be tenacious enough to fight through the pain? Nick, did you go to the beginning again? Okay, thank you. So what happens is, what is our ultimate goal? Look at this. I believe the world should have been looking at income versus being rich or an entrepreneur. I believe we need to get $5,000 to $10,000 a month income, no matter what we do. Now, I'm the only guy that does what I do. I got clients out there going blah, blah, blah about storage units, laundromats, it's fine. I don't think you really want to run the business, okay? I don't want to run the business. The next time you walk into a Wendy's restaurant, ask for the owner. It's not there, okay? It's a management company. Look on the plaque on the right-hand side. They must say what's there. You drive through with Jack in the Box or McDonald's, right there's a sign who owns the operation. It's some LLC or some other corporation. The owner does not run the restaurant, okay? Why would they do that? But again, this is what you want. But it's not even money. This is a legal tender. Okay, it's what? It's a Federal Reserve note. Money hasn't been money for a long time. It's a note. So it's like partnering. It's not easy. If you want easy, go to my ex-client over there who grabs all your money. He's going to say he's rich, rich, rich. And what he gets to do, he gets to brag about his bank accounts and all his goodies while the clients get diddly squat. That's a Ponzi. I don't like Ponzi. I will never touch the money in a line of credit for an escrow. Never. You put it there. You put it there. You will be told what to do. I'll hold your hand. We'll sing Kumbaya, but you won't screw this up. Because why? We're going to do it right. At the end of the day, in 90 days, if you own 25% of something and you get auto income, that's the rest of your life. I think the problem is you forgot legacy. I believe your families and families before you forgot legacy. Legacy. Okay? I don't understand why people, when we pass and go to a better place, okay, we understand that, whatever we believe in, and now you're stuck in a probate. And you want to leave something to somebody. Why would you leave something to anybody? Why don't you leave this setup there and let him replace you as officer? Become president. When you transfer an asset, there's taxation. When you leave it alone, guess what? It stays where it is. When I told cats at Disney, they were buying the hotels wrong years ago. I got paid for my $25,000 a day. And then when I answered the question, they go, what? We didn't see that? I'm sorry you don't see things. That's not my problem. It's yours. It's like here today, okay? Here we have this mouse pad. This is what everybody should get. We give them out for free all the time. So here we have your future. It should be laminated, should be in color, should be in a refrigerator. It should be on your desk, it should be on your cell phone, it should be in a computer. See, but you're not like me. I don't want you to be me. Me, I get possessed. I will not stop until I reach the goal. If I have a goal, that's it. I will not stop. Why would I stop? Okay? 90% of businesses fail for one reason. They gave up. They gave up. They couldn't fight through the pain because they got their assets kicked. Enjoy it. Enjoy it. To me, I always say, devil, bring it on. Come on. I've always been fighting all my life. What the hell's the difference? You fight through the pain. Now, they gave me the silly nickname of the Godfather of Credit years ago. Okay, no problem. All right, because I built $60 billion of credit for me and my clients. All right, we play. I always say you take pictures of stuff that doesn't matter. Okay, in other words, take pictures what matters the most, not just hold down a thing. And again, don't take it at all because I said no. But again, here's the disclaimer. What do? Let's focus, okay? We've all been picked on. We've all been knocked down. We've all had boo-hoo-hoo. Nobody cares at the end of the day, as far as I'm concerned. Born in a taxi. I was kicking the door jamb when I was 10 years old. That's 6 feet. I kicked the basketball hoop at T-Weaker Junior High. The registered newspaper took a picture and said, "Wild boys can jump." What happened to that? Instead, I hear idiots. I'm sorry, I should say jerks or turds or what you want to call them. "Wild man can't jump." What the blank? I could jump, basically take 2 steps and be 13 feet in the air and go boom. Just having fun. Now, why can't anyone else do that? I don't know. It's not my problem. I'm doing me. I'm doing me. I'm one of the few, not one of the many. So you realize one thing. If I'm going to go for a goal, you better hold on. If we get knocked down 1,000 times, we're getting our butts back up 1,001. We're not going to give up till we reach the goal, period. But then life kicks our asses. I mean, I like goodies. You like goodies? I got my first Lamborghini. I was 14 and a half. That's not possible. I'm so tired of idiots out. Not possible. I just like to spin kick them. In the old days, we used to be able to do that. Nowadays, you can't beat anybody up. Well, they're jerks. Come on. They deserve it. Maybe they'll trip and break their toe or something. That's not nice either, huh? All I know is my life gave me the journey to learn how to be tenacious and fight through the pain. When that devil, his wife, took my $52 when I was 8.5 years old to make me pay rent, that sucked. I learned at 8.5 years old, listen carefully, at 8.5 years old, never put something in your name. Never. If you do, you're stupid. In my opinion, you're stupid for doing that. Because somebody else wants to take it away anyway. But it's like you today, your car and your house. I believe you're wrong and I'm right, the way you do things anyway. But I like goodies. You like goodies? You know, when you don't have a house, all right, never had a home, okay, you'd have a trash can used and abused, it kind of like, are you kidding me? I look at our state we live in today, it's like, what the blank? Where am I? I got to pinch myself, okay? Again, it's like, what the blank? Okay, but it's not ours. I'm not, and don't take it personally, please don't take it personally. I feel when you buy a house, escrow closed home says, all right, trust, it's called stupid. I feel when a husband and wife are one, that's because God made you one. Everything is separate. But if we don't learn, all right, from the process, what do? Every one of you, because of your age, you had a problem. You had an SS5 form. You had what's called an SSN, okay, equals a 1040 tax return. That's the bottom line. But again, what did we do? Okay, you were told at 14 to 16, all right, because you're probably 35 to 70 plus years old as well. All right, go get your SSN. Okay. Now, this is the problem, and I want you to listen very carefully. If you partner with me, there's certain things you need to do. I won't partner with you if you have an tax lien or bankruptcy that's still going to chase you, because I don't want to be part of that. I have a nice lady. She's a good client. She's scheduled at $4,700 a month. Then we're going to get it to $9,000. That's fantastic. We close escrow, and now she gets $1,200 a month. Where's my money? You told us you didn't have an IRS problem. The IRS liened your portion of the escrow. See what happens? You see, we don't want something to bite us in the assets. So now she gets only $1,200. Now she has to go through offer and compromise process to get more money. But at least it's $1,200 every month doing nothing. What do you think? See, we went to that social administration department. They told you to step here. Meh. Here. Meh. Quack, quack, quack. You're a duck and a sheep. See, I think you didn't pay attention. I question everything. What the hell is this for? What is this? SS5. That's IRS. Click, click, click. IRS, IRS. SS5 takes a what to get an SSN? And that's a 1040 tax return? I asked the lady at the counter. She was so frazzled, she had to get the manager. By the time I'm done with him, he's like, you have to. What the blank answer is, you have to. See, the world doesn't want you to know diddly squat. It's like when Mrs. Goodwin said George Washington was our first president. In third grade, I raised my hand. So, no, man, no, man, no, that's not right. I don't care what the book says. His name was John Hanson. You got to look it up. See, these are the things I have a problem with. I don't like stupid. It doesn't matter if it's in the book because it was wrong. So if we're going to go get it, we have to understand something. The biggest thing you have to look at today is very simple. All right? Let's put BK here, okay? BK, what's it stand for? Bankruptcy. Bankruptcy, okay? A bankruptcy is an SSN or SS4, okay? So when we have an old blank day, week, month, or year, you bring the pain home because you don't know what the hell you're doing anyway. You got an amateur hour in your life, that's it. Amateur hour. See, if you bankrupt you got one SSN. You're only your one. Only one. It's a lonely number, right? But the universal form, SS4, says employer, entity, or you. Employer, entity, you. If you can listen and learn, you can make sure you don't bring the pain home. I made a promise to myself I would never get married, ever, ever, ever. All right, if I was going to bring the pain home. No way in blankety blank would I want to get married and bring the pain home to all the crap I had as a kid. I mean, who the hell wants that, okay? No way. It's like I never had a father, mother, family. I never felt I belonged anywhere. So when I decided to be a father, because I had a foolproof program, I wrote another book. It's I'm the father I wanted. I designed to be a father what I wanted for me, and I did it for my kids. See, that's what we want to do on the thing we're thinking today. How do we get there? Fight through the pain. 6 beautiful kids, 5 girls and a boy, okay? So what do we do? Goodies. Every goodie you get today, I want you to do what I ask you to do, okay? In a lot of ways, I'm going to tell you what to do because I argue with my clients all the time. So here we go. You ready? Here's a man, okay? Let's just say man, woman, okay? All right, fantastic. God made us one, fantastic. So we're one. Let's have a happy face. What do? Well, the man has 3 chances to try. The woman has 3 chances to try. So if we do this correctly, as long as we're trying, we're not dying. All right, I've been saying that for 40 years. If we're not trying, we might as well be dead. We, the people, constitutional right, must create a line of defense. A line of defense. A line of defense. If we don't have a line of defense, you're going to bring the pain home. See, I watch people complain about rich and famous people. To me, it's like, shut up. Join them. Don't complain, join them. Because you're jealous because they got what you want and you want it too. Everybody has a right to go get it. But again, if we play this game correctly, it's a game. SS4, that form is universal, SS4, it's universal. Employer, all right, entity, or you. Same thing here, here, and here. But what happens with you, all right, ladies and gentlemen, you buy a house, okay? You buy the house. And what do? You argue, okay? You're going to get married. Isn't that fun? We're going to get married. And we want to buy a house. Oh, goody. Husbands and wives, well, we're going to look at total income, and then we're going to buy a house, honey. And then both of you want to be on the damn loan. That's called stupid. Why is it stupid? If you lose the house, that bank gives it to the IRS as a 1099-C. When they sue him, they sue her, they sue her, they sue him. We are one as God, but we are separate on there because we have separate what? SSNs. Keep it separate. The goal for you should have been escrow, closed, homestead, trust. Before you get the keys, you should have had the homestead and the trust filed, and you don't even know about these half of you. What's a homestead, Ray? Are you a grown-up or what? Are you man up, woman up? I don't understand. I'm sorry. I don't understand, stupid. You're not stupid, but I think you follow stupid. We have the ability to play the game. Now, let's take it another way. All right, let's compare it to the banks because that's what I did. I compared it to the banks. They have branch numbers, okay? Branch numbers, and that's what they have. No problem. So they have branch numbers. They're bankrupting online. You can check it out, 21,000 locations. So in other words, Wells Fargo, B of A, Chase, U.S. Bank. Wells Fargo's settlement was $2.1 billion 3 weeks ago. The most indicted bank on planet Earth. I don't even know why they're in business, but they shouldn't be. But this is what they are. So let's understand. The branch number. The bank has a branch number, so that means they get to bankrupt each one of these because they have a separate tax ID. This is a corporation owning a corporation. They get to bankrupt and have a line of defense. They're building a line of defense, which you never did, and this country was built, well, we the people, Constitutional right, Bill of Rights. You forgot to understand that. The world didn't want to teach you anyway. See, they want everybody to be stupid, in my opinion. They don't want you to be smart. Over here, we're going to do this. Draw a line. This is IRS. Okay? IRS is in charge. The Internal Revenue Service is in charge. The banks get to write it all off. They made a business decision, and based on that, they could write off the debts and the problem off their taxes. Every settlement these banks had to make, they get to write it off on their taxes. It's like, wow, hurt me, boo. Wow, wow, wow. You bring the pain home. Why? Understand. The IRS, you, all right, you husbands and wives, I believe you want to pay as much tax as you have to. So the reason I put this foundation down for you to understand is if we're going to partner in a business, I don't want the boogeyman or boogie woman chasing you. We're not getting boogie fever. We're getting, let's save our ass. But again, what do you get to do? Okay? Well, then you're going to call the office and go, I got an LLC, right? Oh, goody for me. I got an LLP. Wow. I got a C Corp. Wow. I got an S Corp. Wow. And then I got a nonprofit. And then I have a PC. See, let's understand. Since the, all right, system, okay, said a corporation is a legal person. Supreme Court, you ever heard of them? They deemed a corporation to be a legal person. So when we look at the United States of America, all right, 50 corps, 50 states, and then there's cities. Every city is a what? Legal person. They pledge the assets to the city, to the state, state to the federal government. That's why they invented a Chapter 9 bankruptcy for cities. They get to bankrupt the debt in front of you, 11 so far, and then write off on their taxes. And you didn't even bother to check it out. Why? Why? The biggest thing in your life should be the word why. Why? But it's up to you. If we take your corporation today, okay, which most of you have one, that's fantastic. Goody for you. I don't care what it is. I care you have one, okay? Because it's a legal what? Person. I'll show you chapter 18. I'm not here to be sapient attorney. I'm here to give you awareness. Your corporation is on Secretary of State's website. Your name's right there. You're the officer. I get this one guy, oh, well, I got a registered agent. Registered agent, that sounds good, sir. Did you know they have to disclose who you are in a lawsuit? I was the largest registered agent in the world. You heard world before? 2009. I sold 10 times more corporations than anybody on this planet to this day. So maybe want to learn just a little bit. Your name's right there. You're on the bank account. They sued the corp, they sue you. You're the duck and sheep. Then you got ding-dongs on social media. You're going to bankrupt and get another one. Excuse me, you guarantee the credit card, you guarantee the car and the lease on the building. So you're still a duck and a sheep. All this BS out there doesn't tell you the truth. But again, that's how it works. I like goodies. You like goodies? Let's pretend today I can get you to listen to me. 110%. Okay? I am the best game in your life. I am the best game on planet Earth. Period. Winning the game of business. I'm the best of the best. Period. Even though I helped Eric Roberts do some stunt work years ago in that movie. Simple. But again, that's not to be arrogant. It's just because I know my shit. Sorry, honey, I said the word S-H-E. She wants me to say poo-poo. That's my wife, because I'm a pastor. She says you can't say the S-H-E word. Okay. No problem, honey. You can spank me later. Okay. So if we turn around today, and we create a line of defense, when I was basically 4 years old, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I went by the karate studio in Torrance. See, I was let out of the car when I was 3 years old by Mrs. Hope all the time, almost every day. I went by the karate studio. I did the moves for 3 days outside the door. He comes out with his black belt face going, kill me. We don't get free lessons, so you get to blank and blank clean the place. I learned to listen because life teaches us life. I became the damn janitor. Got it? We talked and basically one thing. Okay, it was the line of defense. All right, it was this defensive circle. We said circle like this, like a bunch of ding-dongs. Ooh, goody. But again, if they basically come approach you, if it's basically a friend or you whatever, hug, like I turn it to hug, love, or kill. Hug, love, kiss, or kill. Simple. I step back. Oh, well, this is good. I'll love him. Oh, I don't like him. I'm going to hug, love, and kill him. ready to fight. I've been fighting since I was born in the damn taxi. So, if we don't create a line of defense, the line of defense of, oh crap, okay, we have a problem, okay? LLC does business, bankrupts, they bankrupt you. LLP, C Corp, no problem. See, if the corporation does business, they get to sue you. If we do what I want you to do and we line it up correctly and you partner with me, I don't want you to happen what one client did and now the IRS went after the escrow. This is a management company, okay? The goal is eventually she'll be tired of the problem and they'll solve the problem and offer a compromise. Every goodie you ever get should be a division as far as I'm concerned. Because every division, all right, and every goodie has a liability. First, you need the money to get the honey. Who protects the honey and the goal you got? So what do we do? All I know is I was a weird kid, okay? I stayed to myself. That was me, okay? On 181st Street, all right, in Torrance, no problem. Okay, what do? She complains about her singer and sewing machine. I tear it apart. She's not around. I take a bunch of extension cords, I bolt it to my skateboard. There's actually a newspaper article of me when I was 8 years old having a motor on my skateboard. Now, if I had somebody to help me, hell, that would have been great. What do you think? Kind of sucks. I put it back together. She beat the shit out of me. All right? And then from there, 2 weeks later, you can hear her say, hey, it runs better than it ever did. See, no matter what you do, there's always somebody giving you crap. I invented Car Finder. Again, what do? So let's understand, in 1976, I'm driving a Lamborghini, East Coast College, all right? I'm building a mansion in Elio, California, and I want to show the world. I found this, I found the cure, I found the answer, look, let me show you what you're going to do. Wow, look at it, it's not hard, it's easy, if you're willing to follow through. 1976, I was 16. What did you do? I didn't go to high school. It would be a waste of my friggin' time. Okay, I like making money. Now, you can go to school and get the paper. I did that too. But life teaches you life after it kicks your ass. Yes. The Millionaire's Founders Kit. Joanne taught me blueprint when I was in the first grade. She wired Apollo 9, 11, and 13. Very simple. Everything's a blueprint. I couldn't find it, so I had to create one. This is called the Blueprint of Success. I own the rights to that. Every once in a while, I got to remind Tony Robbins, you can't use it, I own it. Stop it. It's ridiculous. But again, what do you get to? You take a picture. If you want it on Amazon, no problem. It's $4.99, very simple. It used to be $5,000 a set. My goal and mission is to change the world. And if you allow me to change your life too, it would be kind of fun. I've analyzed 50 million people so far. This is one of my new books. It's very simple. I want the kids in high school and college not to make the same stupid mistake we did. We all follow stupid. Starting out right. This is a free download. It's free. I want to start their credit file for them. I want to give them the first credit card. Okay? I don't want them to guess like you and I've had to guess. The difference is I knew a lot of the answers because I got to train Ken Yarborough at TOW and Experian. So again, what happens is you watch social media, you need a Capital One secure card. All these, sorry, I call them idiots in the back of my mind. This is called stupid. Capital One gives an inquiry, so you just brought the score down versus up. If you allow me on my dashboard, I give you your first card. If you don't want me to do it, it's opensky.com. It's Capital Bank. See, I want to give you all the answers to your questions. You see, the reason I'm online 6 days a week, all right, I don't want people to not like me, number one, which is really a big problem I have. I'm trying to make people happy. My wife says I'm a pleaser. I want to make sure if I write something, tell you what to do, I'm online and I'm accessible for you. So then you don't have any BS, okay? No excuse why you couldn't get a hold of me. I'm online 6 days a week or in person. I'll get rid of the crap, okay? But also, every program I ever did, I give you 10 times your money back anyway. You invest $500, you get what? 5,000. You invest 1,000, you get 10,000. I want to take away the BS excuses most people have. Half of you are friggin' lazy. Half of you are lazy, period. That's what it is. You want to find a magic wand. I want a free ride. Bing, bing, bing. Are you kidding me? Get off your asses and earn it. So again, that's just my opinion. That's a download. What do? My wife wants me to retire. Okay? I did that at 26 with 2.6 billion of structure. I thought I was going to die at 27 because I feel everyone who retires gets fat, ugly, and dies. I've watched it all my life. They get fat, ugly, and die. They give up. Their brain goes to mush. No, thank you. So again, that was my panic back then. I will never retire, ever. She's going to kill me for saying that. Will I cut my hours down? Of course I will. I promised her to go on a business trip next year. No problem. As long as I can broadcast everywhere we go. It's very simple. If I retire, I think I'm going to die. That's my fear. Want me to watch TV all day, play video games? Hell no. I mean, that's not me. That's not me. Will I travel? All right, look for more opportunity. And all right, give money away and have some fun? Whee! Why not? This is your year. If you set everything up this year, you'll be ready for next year. See, every January you have a problem. You're a liar. Yeah, you're a liar. You set up your New Year's resolutions and you don't follow through. You lied to yourself. Isn't that a liar? And so what happens? How about I take control for a year and get you where you need to go? Because I want you to do one thing today. Look in the mirror and say, you're fired. You should fire yourself. Sorry. I think most of you did a lousy job. You tried, but you didn't learn rules and tools. You didn't pay attention. You followed through and let the world control you. It only takes 38 steps to reach a goal. It hasn't changed. You got to process 8 times. Like half of you sitting there going, let me look away. If you don't write it down, put it here in your brain, you're not going to learn diddly squat. It takes 8 times to process knowledge in the first place. If you really want to go get it, I'll show you how. But again, once again, I had my 19 houses, 17 and a half years old. I had corp to corp, then I get division to division. Okay, you learn the value. Excuse me, what are you talking about? I went to these events. I did it for like ATMs and payphones and all kinds of stuff. I went to this event for payphones. They said the average payphone does $300 a month. Okay, it sounds good. All right, it's $1,600. I'll take 10. I stood up in the room. I said, I'll take 10. Here's my card for a line of credit from Security Pacific Bank. I'll take 10. No problem. So how many months does it take to break even? All right, then I make a profit and average 300, and then I'm financing them anyway off the line of credit because borrow money is not taxable. I've been teaching for 49 years, borrow money is not taxable, and leverage everything because it's free. You offset the taxes as you grow your business anyway. But that's how I look at it. So I connected the dots a long time ago. But again, I believe what you should focus on, not to be an entrepreneur, not to be rich. I think you should focus on income. $5,000, $10,000 a month. You drove by the Wendy's the other day. You drove by the damn thing. What's wrong with you? Did you not want to say, why don't I own it? Why shouldn't I own part of it at least? The Jack in the Box across the street? I don't understand. Why would you not want to own the things that are a necessity that you've seen since you're 4 years old? The same Wendy's is there, same laundromat, same apartment complex. It's still there. And you're sitting there going, what do I like to do, honey? I don't get it. People gave me crap. I was jumping over cars at 60 miles an hour. Fun. I was jumping over 12 lockers. It's only 6 feet. I'm kicking lights, 13 feet. All right? The Guinness Book of Records. Where's the wires? I scared him. He ran out the friggin' door like a little sissy girl. What do we do? Comes back. This is the only building. No blank, Sherlock. So I don't like stupid, and it pisses me off. My wife says after the coma I'm better. I'm more quiet. I used to be a hothead, ready to kill the world. Nah, fight back at least. But now I'm a nice person. I'm more gentle until they piss me off. So what do we get to do? It's very simple. Would you like some goodies? See, if you own a goodie, they're going to sue you and screw you up. If you had a goodie for a division, you're a management company. Could you imagine being a management company? Then if one screws up, you get rid of the bad piece and get some more pieces? That's how I looked at it. You know, when I came out and I brought out the Maynard's Founders Kit 40 years ago, all right, the original ones, they said, Ray, the world's not ready for you, not ready for you. When I gave my, all right, tax attorney the matrix that showed $190,000 a month off credit cards, lines of credit, what is this? How can you say, that's brilliant, that's brilliant. Why didn't anybody do that before? Well, I guess it had to be me. Who's the Kennedys? Hiltons, Firestones, Gettys, and Fords. You see, when you leave something to somebody and you leave it an irrevocable trust, the way you do it, you get stuck in a probate. I think probate, sorry, in my opinion, for dummies. Why would you want to stick in a probate? I'm so proud of my son. He comes here every Saturday, almost every Saturday. He stands here, he's 12 years old, and says, I am the vice president of the company, because he is. 50 years from now, I die, he takes over. No, listen carefully. He's an officer of a corporation, and he replaces the president because he gets promoted, and no asset has to be transferred at all. No taxation. Why do people set themselves up for a fall? And if we want money, here's his combo American Express card. He's only 12. Here's his courtesy checks. Here's my daughter's courtesy checks, who my youngest at 18. So let's understand. All my kids maintain an 800 score plus. There's no reason to bring the pain home in the first place. Your lack of knowledge is our stupidity. We're not stupid. We follow stupid. You're getting older, slower. You're not as pretty you used to be. Maybe today you'll take a picture through your house, which I want you to do. Your office. I want you to make a list. I want you to check it twice. We know you've been naughty and nice. What are we going to do now? Write down irrevocable trust in UCC 1. Write it down. The UCC 1 is the entitlement of ownership. Your house has a deed of trust. Your car has a pink slip. When I taught Title Max and owning and on and on and on and on, Speedy Cash, all these people coming out of my boot camp 2008, I was saying to the world, being stupid. These ding-dongs are using stated income and countrywide crap. What good did that do? See, people don't always listen. If we tie everything into UCC 1 irrevocable trust, and we do it correctly and control it, why would you ever want them to transfer things out of the trust? Why don't they let the board control it? See, I don't want to transfer assets. I want to play. I want to win. You got it so far? Irrevocable trust. Simple to play. Would you like part of that car wash? You can't afford the whole damn thing. They want $1 million, all right, as a down payment. But if we took 5 or 10 of us and we had what, a little money off a line of credit, we own a piece, we get the ownership, what do? Auto income. Everything to me was auto income. Would you like another one? Another one? Another one, a Burger King, even ugly. I like buying ugly because it makes money. But again, it's a choice. What do we do today? Okay? See, if we don't size you up and you size yourself up, it's not going to work. If you don't take your steps, rules, and tools and understand something, the reason most of you have lousy credit is you didn't learn rules and tools, and you jacked up the wrong damn card. Well, that's what you did. Time, money, and credit. Write it down. Time, money, and credit. Time, money, and credit. No time, no money, no credit. Now you're a duck. See, bad days don't last forever. It was very difficult for me, all right, being raised as a kid, and then I met Chuck Smith and got set up at 10, Evie Free, or Greg Laurie, and all these great people. My wife saved my life because she's a Seventh-day Adventist. Okay, again, I got to focus on one religion. When I was sent over to Utah for 3 years and looked at the Mormons as well for a government BS program, in my opinion. So again, what do we get to do? Foundation. If we're going to have more kids, all right, we got to have a foundation of how they're going to be brought up. Living by that book, oh my goodness. It's impossible to live by the Bible. I'm a sinner. I'm a licensed pastor, but I'm a sinner. I make mistakes every day. My wife lets me know, hey, honey, this and that one. But I can't change me. I'm still going to be me. That's the way it works. So let's think. If today you allowed me to tell you what to do, first of all, what I'm going to do is increase your limits on your credit cards. Then we're going to analyze you. I'm going to make sure you understand that graph that you see on Aspiring.com, the one you see at Analytical750.com, our Credit Karma. I don't like them. Why? They were indicted 6 times. They don't have Aspiring, and I need it for the bank lines of credit. They don't have what I need. It's free. Yeah, right. But again, it's a joke in my opinion. No phone number to help you. People need help. Here's 200 points. Analytical 750 not only does a boost, what I designed the original boost anyway, back in the 70s and 80s, here's 165 points. All right, here's 166 points. Here's 200 points. So understand, We're measured by our SSN, S is for, and basically credit score. The credit score is the most important thing you're measured by. Today, it's the most important thing, especially when you're 40 and above, because they keep treating you bad. And what do? You jacked up their own damn card. When I bought my first storage unit, I partnered up with the next father-in-law, my ex-father-in-law, no problem. What did we do? He has his corp, I have my corp. He put money in an escrow, so did I. We close escrow, we get ownership, deed of trust, ownership. Our income for the corporation I have is $17,350, so it's his. So understand, somebody owns what you drive by every day. Who gave them the money to go get it? Once they own it, you got an auto income, correct? $17,350 a month. Is that good? Corporation absorbs money, doesn't pay tax, so it's profitable. Profitable, taxable, so it's designed, okay? No problem. You watch Trump pay what, $750 in tax? No, he did not. He paid no tax. That was a filing fee. Look it up. Again, we have the chance to repackage ourselves like Humpty Dumpty. I take clients that have been with me for 40 plus years. Linda, she signed up in 1986. She financed me using $2,000 on a card. See, there's no excuse for any of you, okay? I don't have the money, give me referrals, knock it off. So what I did, I had to blueprint her. All right, personal credit took 185 days to put it on check to $100,000. $450,000 of corporate credit took a year. Simple, not easy. What do we get to do? All right, the American Express blueprint loan in reference bank account. That's what I did. From here, what do we do? Just received $240. The goal for Linda was take that $240. Would you like to have 3 other partners in that project? So we each put in, $50,000 or plus, and we can share the ownership. No, I got this, Ray. Okay. Linda, I've made her $1 million or 5+ times. She runs outreaches in California and millions and billions of dollars all the time. All right, she buys the Hyatt Hotel in Texas. She puts the money down, no problem. The Hyatt Hotel, all right, what do we do next? The monthly income can be $187,000. She has other projects she's working on all the time. And what happens is very simple. Currently about $344,000 a month. What do we create? Income, income, income. So if we do this correctly based on project, her payment for me for that 2086 was $26 a month. She financed me. That's how it works. There's Linda. You take a picture. You listen to how she says as you scan it today, that I literally had to tell her what to tell her CPAs and attorneys. She'd always say, this is what Ray said. Say, Ray said this. And they'd have to do what I said. All right, they had to learn. I had to teach them too. But again, that project she's working on is now called the Blueprint Apartments, and it's a $27 million project. So it's right there. So if you do what you're told to do, and we get auto income, can we do it again and again? The answer is yes. Is it easy? No. Sometimes I feel like I'm falling off the cliff. It's like I just want to scream my head off. I want everything to go right. It doesn't always go right. There's that blueprint loan. How do we get the money to put into an escrow? Take it from our house, SBA loan, and some silly thing like that, and hurt the family? No, that's what most of you did. You took money from your family to start a business, and you should have used credit to offset the taxes. That's what makes more sense. Up to $250. They offer what, 99 more cards? No, thank you. They want to see 30 transactions. They want to see 100,000 in and out of the bank account. But if you don't have it, what do you do? See, you keep thinking you can't go get one of these goodies. All right, I wrote the original books on laundromats, car washes, laundromats, dry cleaning, apartment complexes, all this stuff, all through the years, storage units. I wrote books 40 plus years ago on this stuff because that's what I was teaching and preaching, how to get past go and have some fun. So if we get a blueprint loan and we fight through the pain, at the end of the day, we can put some money in escrow. You own a piece. You get to own a piece. How important is it for you to have a deed of trust in something, ownership, of something you saw since you were 4 years old, still standing there? Wendy's doesn't go out of business. McDonald's doesn't go out of business. Storage unit, laundromat, car wash, it's there. Or your apartment complex. I mean, you saw the same one since you were 4 years old. Why don't you own it? Why don't you own it? I don't understand. Why would you not want to own it? So when you don't have the pieces in place, I do. I've done this for 49 years. So if you don't have a bank account that show $500,000 on a monthly basis, I do have many accounts. But again, that's what we show. All right, and show it again and again. We're connecting the dots that we can get into an escrow. I'm in every escrow you're going to be in. I'm going to own 25% of everything you're going to want to own because I'm one of the partners. That's what partner is with me. We're going to have a piece. We're partnering together in the project. That's the only thing. I'm going to coach you every step of the way. You're going to do it the way I do it because that's what I want you to do. I don't just screw it up. So when we say it's $5,000 to do a blueprint loan, I'm not charging for the blueprint loan. I'm charging for your corp as a division of mine, using my history and we connect the dots. We have an agreement that says we're partnered up now. We could use each other's references if we want to. It's about a $5,000 spend. What do? Well, I like to give discounts. When I broadcast, I give a discount and I say, now, Zell, or call the office. When you don't, I tell you blew it, because you did. I get the reps all the time. Well, you said this year, stop. I don't care what I said that day. It was that day, now, Zell, period, or they pay the normal price. I keep to my word, simple. It's $4,000 to line it up. You don't have to pay for the credit until I pop it and we get through an escrow, because I don't want to back you in a corner. Again, now a blueprint loan called Expedite. That means I'm going to take one of my corporations. It's $6,000. Not cheap. If I take one of my corporations and I get a card for you as a CFO here, we're going to use that as well. The goal is to get after both of those simultaneously. What if we lose one? We get 250. So what if we get a both? 500,000. See, everything's not going to work out. We're going to get knocked down. Okay, when when the account was hacked, another client didn't respond. What do you get to do? All right, you got to, it's like Gary. Gary didn't respond to getting the bank statements and he lost it. I got to go get him again. But I know how to do that too. Whatever we go through, I can get through the process and fight through the pain because I know all about the way it works anyway, since I helped set it up. So if we go after that one through my corporations for you, that's $5,000. That's an expedite, okay? What if we went after both of them? That's the goal. See, at the end of the day, what is your goal? I think your goal is to be a puppet master. You say, maybe you don't get that yet. I always had a puppet master club years ago, 40 plus years ago, and I want you to own pieces. Now, I was bored. My son says, why, Daddy, did you have 21 cars? I didn't have any cars, honey. They're not my cars, okay? The Lamborghinis, okay, very simple. They belong to the corporation and the divisions. I'm not going to put a car in my name. That's called stupid. They hit me in a bumpity bump. They're going to sue me and try to take everything I got. I don't got anything to get. See, I take it seriously. When you sue me, you get dilly squat. The American dream is living on the hill, drive the car of your dreams. And if you sue me, you get dilly squat. You can kiss my ass. I believe you have to protect yourself. This world is mean and cruel. I've seen some of the meanest and cruel things in my life. I don't want to see it again. So 21 cars. I was bored, so I bought cars. Simple. All right, that was 1,013 divisions and all the real estate too. A couple billion of that. So I'm going to write a list for you. We use a program called Phantom. That means when we're on the phone, it's actually taking our dictation to each other and make it a checklist. I want to write the list for you, daily, weekly, and project lists. I think if you had your list correct, you wouldn't be watching me today. In other words, you kind of what? Screwed up? Failed? Right? You didn't follow through? I don't know what the problem is. What are we going to do? I want you to do boring and steady. It's what I've taught for 40 years, boring and steady. Today, I want you to have your picture ready, your camera. All right? What do we have to do? Pretty simple. If we take a corporation, these cards, and I use my wife's cards on purpose because there's always some ding-dong. Do you really have the cards? There's always some jerk giving you crap. These are her paid overtime limits for $100,000, and they're unlimited up to $1 million, okay? If we take these cards, okay, what do? First of all right, we're going to get the card. It's a POT of 100,000. So let's write down 100,000 right here. If we take that card times 9 more, okay, 9 more plus that 100,000, what is it again? Times 9 equals $1 million. One card has the capability of being worth $1 million. One card. Is that a good thing or a bad thing? So if we play the game, the goal is getting these cards, and they offer 99 more cards, so let's go get 99 more. Again, we can win the game of business. It's a game. Treat it like a game, please. Did you take your picture? That's your screensaver for your computer and your phone. That should be printed and laminated. Refrigerator, desk at work. What do we get to do? We get to play the game and win. When I take a blueprint loan, or one of the 4 banks that I like called checkbook money, what do I get to do? I now have the money to put into an escrow. If we have 50,000, I will not allow you to put more than 25 ever in an escrow. See, we're going to play it my way. I'm not going to play with it at all. If you got 75, it's 50. If you have 100, it's 75. We never use it all for an escrow. Again, what do? If we do this correctly, I want you with me for a year. You'll, by the way, after I'm done getting you some escrows, you're going to say, Ray, I want you for life. That's what they do all the time. How about 6 escrows next year should be your goal? 6. All right, if you're aggressive, it should be 10. If we took hypothetically 25,000 off of a card, borrow money is not taxable. You can afford the payment. It's almost like nothing. You can pay itself if he needs to. That can be up to $3,200 a month. That is a laundromat, a dry cleaner, car wash. You ever see the owner running those? No, because the owner's not there. $50,000, what do you storage unit, 4-plex. Okay, what do we do again? Up to $5,600 a month. All right, we put 75. Again, we have what? 100 for 75. Numbers don't lie when people do. More people in the projects. It's a bigger storage unit apartment complex. $100,000. What do we do again? So the goal is very simple. If we do this correctly, could we spend, all right, borrow money to get into an escrow, close it, own a piece of something, and get a deed of trust? One client, she's disappointed because she gets $1,200 a month because she told us she didn't have an IRS problem. She does. So now we have to solve that problem too. Because it's a different piece. They can't go after all the pieces. They only go after her piece. If it was all share the pieces, we'd lose it all. No, thank you. Again, line of defense. There's your 2026, if you got the guts to play with me. I have to blueprint you. Joanne is right when she taught me about blueprinting when I was in the 1st grade. I believe a blueprint has to be done in its detail. In other words, what do? Past, present, and future, good, bad, ugly. You have a tax problem, you have a bankruptcy, you need to know. I ask the question all the time. Did you ever mess up Chase American Express? If you did, you need a division of you. Again, I need to know that too. What do? If you have a corporation, I don't care what kind, as long as you have one. That's the foundation. From their divisions, you need 18. Why? Let's watch. If you say you're an expert in real estate and you put all your houses in an LLC, someone slips and falls and sues you and screws you up, you lose them all. If you take a division and you separate liability and create a line of defense, if one slip and fall and try to screw you up again and again, what do? You see, 9 lines of credit to get them, 9 liabilities for tenants. So what happens is if we have a bad piece, just like the cities and the banks, and you could bankrupt a piece, and keep the other pieces. This is a bad one, get rid of it. What do? We kept all the pieces. I learned about store number when I worked for Lucky Supermarket when I was told by the court to get a job, even though I had money in the bank. Is this store 128? I heard that. You know, I'm thinking about where's 127, 129. Okay, no problem. See, Lucky's owned Jimco. All right, Pioneer Chicken, and G&D Sporting Goods. Then I realized every store location had a number to it. Maybe that's how they protect their assets and they don't bring the pain to the parent company. Irrevocable trust, car division, house trust. Auto income, I've been saying that for 49 years, and cash flow for your time. It's in my book. When I was 16 on page 6, paragraph 3. But again, a blueprint call for me is $5,000. The office sells it for $2,000. If it's done during the webinar, it's $9.99. If you partner with me, it becomes free. Again, another way to play the game. If you sell it, you save another 10%. See, these are opportunities to play with me every step of the way. My problem I had in 1984 scared the crap out of me. See, life teaches you how to follow the bouncing ball. What do I have? I own some Shakey's, some shopping centers, donut store, 31 flavors, satellite stores, all these pieces, condos, houses, blah, 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 blah. I get this thing in the mail. It's a letter. The letter in the mail is very simple. It says I have to pay $800 to $1,000 per corporation. All right, it's like, what? What? Franchise tax fee in California just to have a corporation? Okay. Well, that could be $1 million too, for all the things I own and control. Sacramento road trip. I asked a question to two departments in Sacramento. Could I create an entity or a form under the corporation that doesn't pay franchise tax fee? Create a form or modify one is what I was told. We'll see if we're going to prove it. This form in 1985 said husband or wife and partner on line 5. It's been modified 10 times now over the years. That's what happens. Your corporation is 4A. One of my corporations is 4. If I need a B and a C, we'll add that to as well. That's who owns a piece of what? Deed of trust. So would you like 25, 50, or 75% of anything? See, that's an asset. That's an income. When you buy your auto income, it's for life until the corporation does what? Till we die. Why don't we let our kids take over the corporation when we're dead? Corporations can live forever. We cannot. So again, what do? Today, I get clients, well, Ray, I can't afford that. I can't. Stop. You do referrals, you get 10%. So knock off the crap. Everybody can refer 10 people to make $1,000 today. There's always a way. Well, what do? Here we have 90 days. This is what I would call a mini coaching program. 100,000 of personal or business credit. Blueprint call. Monthly calls, all right, every 3 weeks. 18 books, CDs, and then 18 divisions. All that is about $20,000 of stuff. 18 divisions usually cost 10 grand by itself, 100,000 about 10 grand too. Brandy wants to sell for $14,999, so 15 grand, okay. Broadcast is now. If you got it tonight, it is $39.99, it's 4 grand. If it's not done tonight during the broadcast, you'll call tomorrow and you'll pay the normal price. I can give discounts during a broadcast because I don't get a paycheck. Okay, I haven't had a paycheck for 40 years or even a bank account. But then the reps can write it up now, if you call the office now. Put it off. The reality is the answer is no. If you play with me for a year, we're going to talk every 3 weeks. I'm going to build you 200,000 of credit, the blueprint call. You're stuck with me for 12 months. What do? It's 26,000. If it was done tonight as a commitment now, Zelle, credit card, I don't care what it is, you still get the 200,000 of credit. It's 10,000. If you have to put $2,500 down, you can do that. As long as you paid the balance within a day or so, you still get the 200,000. You make payments, you get no credit at all. At least you're in the coaching program with me for a year. You make your payments, and we follow through. That's what you get tonight with me to you. There's your Zelle. And I have weird problems. I rhyme all the time. I got to recall most things, and IQ pretty high, and write with both hands and talk at the same time. Well, that's just me. All right, that's the way God made me, so guess what? I made in his image, so guess what does that say? Someone's laughing. So here it is, a Zelle. It's a now. Every one of you should be calling the office at 800-254-9506 now. Use a card for anything, they charge 5% more. What is our goal? Our goal is to understand that a corporation is a legal person. It's right there. It's right there. I learned that at 7.5 years old listening to Mrs. Hope's poker game in the corner. It says, may sue or be sued. Then I didn't like this part because I went to the library every day for almost 2 years. I sent away $10 and I got a corporation right away. Simple. It says not required to file fictitious business name. My corporation I did for nonprofit because it was $10. That same corporation today is $30. All right, $30. Is that okay? If you got a nonprofit corporation and a profit corporation or in a conjunction, that would be the ultimate goal. What do? Trump's going to give away, they say, over $100 billion next year. Why don't we get some Trump money? He wants to solve the problem with what? Homeless and all the other things. Okay. No liability on credit cards. Google up to $10,000 a month. If we file a nonprofit corporation, if we don't get the exemption from the IRS, it's not for profit. If we get public benefit 501c3, we're going to look at 4 categories to give up to $100,000 a month. Homeless, home elderly, hospice, transportation, food delivery. They did a study a couple years ago and found out these do more than 4 times than a McDonald's. So again, you can actually have a nonprofit and make a difference using Trump money and provide some jobs. Federal, state, okay, and city grant money. Simple. We get to play. Here's our problem. They want a nonprofit filed the year before you ask for grant money. So if it's done today, now, and it's ready for next year. Got it so far? Wait till next year. You have to wait the following year. It's going to be up to you. I do one of my specialty classes, and I have them rotation every Saturday at 9 o'clock. irs.gov, you download a form called 1023, 501c3 exemption. What happens is they charge up to $15,000 to the public's eye. I'll teach you how to do it yourself for free. Is that okay? I might charge you for the class. We'll see what happens on that. So a nonprofit corporation, 501c3 exemption, I can help you if you'd like me to help you. Here's articles, also says tax ID. I'm going to build the credit reports of Spirit, Chandra, and Equifax. Even nonprofit gets credit as well. What do? You go to the workshop. Now this is normally $10,000 because that exemption is up to $15,000. So what do we do tonight? Let's do this. I change these things all the time just for the fun of it. Here's $100,000 to the nonprofit. Here's 18 divisions. Here's a phone call with me. Okay? If it was done tonight, it's $5 grand. If it's done tonight also, I'm going to make that 90 days of phone calls. If it's done tonight. If it's not done, don't one of those specials offer tomorrow because the answer is no. No. It's now. Zell. Simple. I have a 2-day event coming up, 15th and 16th. I like to help people set up their structure with profit and nonprofit work in conjunction. $5,000 to come in person, you build your $100,000 in credit. $2,000 online, again up to $100,000, $50,000 in credit. And I'm going to help endorse and get you through this process if you want to. Those are the fees for the nonprofit 2-day event. If you did the previous one tonight, all right, that would be free. It would have to be done tonight. Again, what do? Trump money. So the lie, I believe you lied to yourself. I believe the world lies to you too. You see, what happens is you can't just bankrupt a corporation, in my opinion. I believe if you bankrupt a corporation, you guaranteed things. You guaranteed the building, the car, the credit card. So they're still going to come get you. And that's the problem. I don't want them to get you. You build your line of defense. You protect your assets. Again, division process. I would like one of your assignments tonight to be that you're going to write down sos.whatever state you're in.gov. Please write it down. They say that 47% of you use your home address. That means the state sells you on a mailing address. I think that's silly and dumb. I'd like you to change it to a P.O. box. I'd like you to change your mailbox, etc., whatever you need to, based on your state. Why don't we create a line of defense and let every division be the liable party versus you? That's going to help you not bring the pain home. Now, every corporation, profit and nonprofit, need Dun & Bradstreet. Take a picture. Analytical is going to help you set it up right away anyway. What's going to happen? Help me help you and other people. What does that mean? If you say you can't afford something, that's an excuse. What do? You finance it, or you basically give me some referrals. You get 10%. Would you like a Zelle, store credit, or would you like a check? No excuse. Since I was a little boy, when you ask me how I'm doing, it's always good, always good. And then I always say to myself, thank you, Jesus, because I got another day. No one steals my peace. All right, I keep that. Now, Google, I love Google. If you want to take a picture, put a review for me if you like me. If you don't like me, please just leave me alone. Not everybody likes you, not everybody likes me. It's how it works. So now, the banks want a real address for your bank account. If you don't have one or need one, at least 12 feet at a time. So it's not considered shared office space, by the way. We play the game to win. The Reynolds University is the first time I felt proud of myself in my whole life. It really is. 22,000 square foot building, Irvine Spectrum, one Technology Drive. I had an office, one said B of A, one said Chase, one said ADP, one said franchise. If you got past Betty, it was 22,000 square feet. God had a different plan. He wanted me to go through a coma, he allowed it, and I get to die and come back. All right, got to rebuild it again in front of the world, embarrassing. But again, my wife says I'm more humble. What did you do? Simple. You sit at the kitchen table with your friends and family. You said, honey, we're going to basically finance our business, and what do we know? Our friends and family are going to build a business. You jacked up the cards, you dropped the score, you got stuck, you couldn't get any more. You hawked your house, you basically paying over you and me. I call that silly and dumb, sorry to say, but it's true. Why would you jack up the wrong card? The goal is never to bring the pain home. The NACB certifies me as the #1 conservative worldwide years ago. Okay. I'm the one that trained Yarborough that took the 25% rule. All dashboards say below 30. The goal is they're not telling you it's 25 to 29% rule. It's green. 30 is yellow, 50 is red. You got a credit card, honey, we got $10,000. Let's go shopping. Let's go to dinner. Well, you went past 29%, and when you dropped your score, got stuck, you can't get any more. You better balance your debt. When I set up the dashboards in 1987, it was very simple. As I'm playing with Yarborough, we wrote a book in 87 about file segregation, didn't like it. My dashboard allows me to set up a credit file, SSN, SS4 instantly, Spearing, Genuine, Equifax. That's since 1987, by the way. I can have some fun. You like to play? I like to play, don't you? So what do? We always go back to SSN equals 1040. And we go back to what? SS4 equals 1120 or 1065. That form right there says employer. It says entity or you. It is really a universal form. You could allow it a long time ago, but it's up to you. My dashboard says the word optional. So if I take a card today and I ask for more cards, I'm okay. I don't need social or tax ID yet. If I have the word optional, I'm daisy chaining credit the first phase. There's 113 ways to do that too. After about 90 days, I have the choice to put SSN or SS4. Would that be okay? But again, you have to have the intent not to do fraud, pay your bills anyway. Never hurt your creditors. What is our goal? All cards fluctuate. Simple, they all fluctuate. But again, the American Express, Gold, and Platinum do not. So that's the card you would jack up if you have an emergency. You jacked up the wrong card, that's why you dropped your score, got stuck, couldn't get any more. Sorry to say, but it's true. Now, phone call with me. I have been $3,000 an hour and $25,000 a day for the last 45 years. I've never changed my rates. Simple. The office sells my 15-minute phone call for $5,000. Tonight, you can get it for $399 if you did it right away. Check or it's out. Don't get it, then it's $500 tomorrow. Again, our goal is to motivate you to step up now. The Federal Trade Commission says credit repair is a scam. I didn't say it, they did. You even have the Credit Repair Organization Act. They indicted Daniel, the Credit Repair Cloud, and going blah, blah, blah. What do? Why don't we take a picture of a book I wrote 40 years ago? And it's been updated again and again. You see, that's what they're all using anyway, I believe. Take a picture, scan it, it's free. It's free download. You can download it, you can go to Amazon for free too. See, that's the goal. That book can get you all the letters from creditors and credit bureaus, what you need to do to help yourself. Now, I watched this guy on these social media things. This lady's on the phone going to tell me about collections. She's going to get me and beat me on the dead. It's his daughter. He's pretending to be somebody. Why don't we just tell him the truth? Why don't we get him debt crisis intervention? Why don't we give him a copy of the Fair Debt Collections Practices Act? Credit bureaus used to have consumer credit counseling on the bureaus years ago, one of my companies. We play. There's Amazon's bookstore. Or you can also get the bookstore on basically TikTok too. We're working on that today. What do? Analytical 750. Here's a credit report, all three, which I need. It's not Credit Karma because there's no phone number to help you, and they don't have a Spearing, which I need anyway. They have all three. You can look at any time. Now, LifeLock, be careful. They've been indicted 6 times as well, $100 million the last time. This, all right, Analytical has a $5 million bond, not a 2. But then they're not going to hurt you as well. They're going to help you. They're going to analyze you the first time for free. They're going to call you every 46 days and bug you and tell you what's next. They're going to help you Dun & Bradstreet, your Spearing, Genuine, Equifax business reports. One app doing it all. Scan it, take a picture right away. It's up to you. What do? I want to help and change the world, but I don't like lazy. That's my job. I got 2 kids to feed. First of all, go to the church for the food, go drive Uber, Lyft, DoorDash right now. He's wearing his jammies. He's making $210 a day with that stupid sign. He's a liar. He's wearing his jammies. What does he need to do? Get a damn job. There's me. Get the Dinah coming back and help you. What do we have to do now? Okay. How did I rebuild my life? I have 3 divisions of me, 5 closet divisions, here and here. What do? I built $1 million of credit, bought my wife an extreme house. See, you have to realize you don't have to stay down. You chose to stay down. Plan the problem. The world's going to kick your assets. You better get up again and again and again and again. What's a corporation again? It's right there. What do we have to do? 4 things a division does, or 4 things a corp does, and 7 things for divisions. Can you imagine if you create the line of defense? The line of defense to protect your assets, and you got to get rid of a piece and keep the other pieces like the banks and grocery stores do. Maybe today you'll learn a little bit. Why don't we play my way? Division process. If I'm going to roll the dice, it has to be a division, because if I bankrupt, if I had to, I don't hurt the corporate of my family. That's what convinced me I could get married, and my wife give me a birthday, all right, and a Christmas, and I feel guilty every time she buys me anything. What a screwed up situation, huh? But that's the way it is. She gives me the world, and I love that. She's my rock. 9 divisions mean 18. 9 lines of credit, 9 locations, and whatever it might be. 100,000 times 9, that's $1 million more. So we could actually finance the American dream. It's in my book 40 years ago. They all said, no one's going to be ready for that, Ray. The reality is I've built up to $16 million of credit. All right, let's watch. American Express right here. I got all the cash applications as an affiliate about 18 years ago to put division process in every cash application. It's right there. Nobody knows what to do with it because no one what? Died in a coma, pandemic, all these things slowed us down. We got to teach the world how to play. They offer 99 more. Would you like 2 for you and 2 for the corporation? Of course. If I took corporate credit, now listen carefully, borrow money is not taxable. So if I took the corporate credit and I buy the white lifetime income, I would invest. I would own something, a certificate of what? Deed of trust. Fourplex, a Wendy's restaurant, a Jack in the Box, all right, a laundromat, a car wash, what it needs to be. But again, it's going to be up to you if you want to play and win the game of business. Do you want to be a millionaire? It's simple. It's a yes or no. So if the answer is yes, I'm going to say no, the answer should be no. You see, you got all these people going, I'm rich, how rich are you? I think that's kind of stupid. The IRS is listening. If I was in, I would have died everybody that said they were rich. They'd pierce their veil, and far as I'm concerned, they said they are rich. Corporation needs to have 9 divisions, 9 lines of credit. It's 18. Simple. To repackage you like Humpty Dumpty. What do we get to do? Simple. A division allows me, give me a name, wholesale, whatever name you want to make up or use. From there, if I add history to it, I build a credit file. So that's all we need to do. I don't need tax ID for division until I daisy chain credit. So each division tonight, they're usually $1,000 each, take a picture, 3 with or without credit, or 9 or 12. That would be the ultimate goal. The division is going to come with history, credit reports ready there to go, and a tax ID when it needs it. It's going to be up to you. All right, you've allowed up to 75 divisions on a bank account so far. We've watched that happen many times. Tonight, if that was done, and you took your picture, I would double the numbers. The money does not change. So that's 6, 18, and 24 if it was done today. And that's a Zell, simple to do. And I would tell you to call that office right away, 800-254-9506. If you need $25,000 in credit for you or your corporation, I'm going to line you up and add the history. The office is usually about $2,500. Okay. If done tonight is $2,000. Simple. $2,000. You save $500. If you Zelle, you can take 10% off the Zelle. If it was done during the webinar, and that's the way it works. If you want $50,000 of credit, usually $5,000. Tonight it is $3,000. Very simple to do. If you Zelle, you save 10% on that. If you want $100,000 of credit, okay, instead of the $8,000, it's going to be $5,000 if it's done tonight. $5,000 for that $100,000 for you or the corporation. What are we going to do? I'm going to say Zelle right away. There you go. The phone number 800-254-9506. The goal is not to waste time. My wife always says, sleep in. I can't do that. I woke up at 2:25 this morning. All right, and I get up to my knees, say, thank you, Jesus, yesterday, today, tomorrow, too, and forgiveness. Simple. In Jesus' name, amen. I look in the mirror every morning. I put myself in check. That's the ultimate goal. I believe you need a nonprofit to offset your taxes. In other words, this corporation here, working with a nonprofit corporation, you can offset taxes, which is important. Chase allows up to 5 divisions. How do I get 75? Well, John, you're wrong, okay? Okay, Gina alone has 78, okay? Again, sorry, John, you're wrong, okay? They cannot give you a limit because they're allowed to. I sued them in 96, okay? They must give you at least the 18, if not more. But I have plenty of clients that have 50, 60, and 70 and more. But again, all right, you got to answer the right person. Maybe we ought to have that person guide you at Santos, the VP or something. Back to nonprofit. You know, I used to say drive, pay tax or buy a Lamborghini. Elon Musk says pay tax, buy a spaceship. How about we pay tax or have a nonprofit? It offsets the taxes. Grant money. Ooh, credit cards. Grant money. If we do it correctly, we can get vehicles actually donated. All right, they get to write off on their taxes, and we can drive around the elderly and take care of them. Up to $100,000 a month. That's what one of my clients did. He was so disappointed. So I said, when you're done with that house fixing it up, you're lucky you get $600 a month. He goes, yeah, Ray, how did you know? I said, you're going to let your wife take that under the nonprofit. Now they get $112,000 a month. Is that better to provide jobs and pay the bills? We get state and federal grant money and city money. We get to play the game to win. So irs.gov, write it down, 1023 form 501c3. I'm going to help you connect all your dots and answer your questions up to 6 days a week. The nonprofit, the event coming up. Articles also is tax ID. It's 10 grand. Because I'm going to help you get the exemption and endorse it as well. But again, what do? Tonight, you get 100,000 credit, 18 divisions, and those calls, I'm going to make it 90 days if it was done tonight. And instead of that, we're going to make it 5 grand. It's up to you again. During the webinar only, we get to play and get some Trump money. So the difference is now I have that 2-day event coming up on the 15th and 16th. You want to be in person in this classroom or you want to be online, it's up to you. If you did the previous one for that 5 grand, this is free. But it has to be done tonight. If it's not done tonight, you got to buy them separately. What is the ultimate goal? Be a puppet master. What does that mean? Simple. How about we have $2.2 billion in real estate under the division process and 21 cars in a car collection? Why not? So we get to play the game to win. Next, buoyant and steady makes sense to me. This means, this is what I told you to take a picture earlier today. I mean, come on. Who owns a Jack in the Box? The owners aren't running it. The McDonald's and Wendy's restaurant and all the goodies. Why don't we get you to be a puppet master? Why don't we get to the point we create lines of credit? Could be blueprint money, could be a line of credit at the bank. You write a check to an escrow. You control escrow too. You get a part, blueprint loan or checkbook money. Okay, what do? Well, let's see. If we put $25,000 down, we're getting a laundromat, dry cleaner, car wash. We can get up to $3,200 a month. But if you have an IRS problem, you're going to get $1,200 like the lady did. She got upset and then she realized it was her own silliness. Because if I would have known she had a tax problem, I would have put an offer in compromise before she did it. Right? The difference is she put her name on the escrow. Mine. Then mine monster got her. So guess what we do? 50,000 up to 5,600, 75 up to 7,500, 100,000 up to 9,620. But again, this should be your goal next year. That would be the ultimate goal for all of you, but it's up to you if you want to be a puppet master. That's the goal. I believe your corporation has an entity division process, and it's 4 in the process. I'll be 4. Then we'll have a B and a C. When do we get a entitlement of ownership called a deed of trust? Let's play my way. The nonprofit program, I want nonprofit to work with your conjunction with your profit. It also has taxes, and you get to change the world and be a nicer person. 100,000, 18 divisions, and calls for 90 days. If it was done tonight during the broadcast as well, we play. Now, that 2-day event, I want you to focus on it, because I'm not doing another one. All right, this is going to be the last one. The last boot camp was what it was. But again, nonprofit, we're running out of time. If we want nonprofit, we've got to file it now. get the exemption so we're ready to get rent money next year. There's your 2026. That's free if you did it tonight, the other one. So what do? Raise, build, and coaching program for in 2026. Again, you want to start slow. You take a picture. There you go. 100,000 in credit. Calls all the time, every 3 weeks. Blueprint, 18 divisions, and books and CDs. That's $14,999. That's what Brandy wants to sell it for. Tonight it is $4,000 if it was done tonight. That can be Zelle, now, or card with a 5% fee. You want to play with me for a year? Okay. 200,000 of credit, blueprint call, and a phone call every 3 weeks. 27,000. Tonight is offered for 10 flat out if it was paid in full by card or Zelle. If you need to put $2,500 down, you can do that today. If you pay that the next morning, we'll honor the 200,000. But if you did not and you make payments, then there's no credit at all. There's your Zelle. That's the opportunity for you today. And I would say now, call that office, 800-254-9506. If you want me to coach your current business, we can do that too. Maybe a 3 months, 6 months, or 12 months program. Okay, we get to play that way as well. But again, I'd like you to think about Stellar Bank, American Express. I'd like you to think about Chase and the other banks as well for lines of credit. If we can get that blueprint loan and position ourselves, and we have that 30 transactions, 100,000 a month, okay, I'll guide you. If not, I have that connected with me. We connect the dots with me. We get to play. So if you want, please don't ask for 99 more cards. That's ridiculous. I think 9 would be the goal. We can show them an average balance on some accounts, $500,000. We don't show bigger accounts. This way, just show they get past that, and we get to play the game to win. Do you want to win? How about we get an escrow? How about we realize it's usually $5,000 to do that? Okay, for a blueprint loan, me take your corp as a division of mine, get a card, exercise, and prove the payments as well from the same account. If that was done tonight, it is $4,000 for a blueprint loan. We don't charge you the 10% till we close an escrow because we don't want to back you in a corner. If you want a fast track, and let me use one of my corporations, I make you CFO of that, we can play that game too. Some clients want both of those simultaneously, but again, it's up to you. The Chase and the American Express card can be used. So again, if we did a fast track program, that would basically, simple tonight, that would be $5,000 to do the fast track one too. Ultimate goal. There's your Zelle. The opportunity to call the office right away and understand how we can partner together to make some money and get the honey. That's the ultimate goal. The honey could be that house or that dream. I believe you let yourself down over the years and didn't keep your New Year's resolution. I'm pushy, and I will push you as far as I can. All right, because I'll push you every step of the way. If you wanted to refer people tonight, you could have made up to $1,000. The goal is to look behind the curtain every time. You see, when I was a kid, they said, no. I realized I didn't know how. And if there was something that didn't exist, I would create it and see if I could get it approved. I try everything I'm going to do. Stay safe, stay strong. Remember, we all do our best. Jesus does the rest. Amen to that too. The ultimate goal for all of us is have the ability. I'm online 6 days a week because I want to hold your hand. I want to make sure you master what we're going to teach you. But again, the ultimate goal for you is getting through the process. You've tried your whole life. Is it easy? No. All right, will we fight through the pain? Every step of the way we have to. So we do our best. God does the rest. Amen to that too. And never forget, at the end of the day, if you're not calling 800-254-9506, I'm going to say you kind of blew it, but it's on you. Always remember, at the end of the day, it's simple. God loves us all.